Hello, 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 everyone. How are you all doing out there this evening? My name is Great Eagle Sim Pilot. I'm a real world A320 captain, bringing my love for aviation and flight simulation to all your wonderful people out there. How is everyone? How are you all doing out there this evening? We have Draco 1588. Oh, what's up, Draco? Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. Seems like it's been a minute since I've seen you last in the chat. Glad you're able to join another live stream. I got something a little bit different for you this evening. We will be doing some real world. I've actually been wanting to do some frontier ops for quite some time since the 321 Sharklet came out, because that's pretty much, the vast majority of the frontier fleet is 321 Sharklets, Neos. They got like the newest of the new equipment. So been wanting to do some frontier ops, and I just absolutely love the frontier airplanes, how they all have an animal on the tail, and how they all have a name for it. So we got Cali, the mountain lion. That's what we're going to be flying today on up to Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. Draco says, good bro, for sure, for sure, for sure. That's been a while. We have Microsoft doing Microsoft things with all these. Don't mind the patches. This is a known bug with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. It comes and goes. Oh, look at there. Lufthansa A340 pushing off right off of our wingtip. How cool is that? I wonder if he's going to like Munich or something like that. Absolutely cool. So we are on VATSIM. It looks like there is a ground controller on at the very least. So we'll go ahead and we at least have a little bit of live ATC, at least for the first little bit of our flight. And then we'll go ahead and do our own thing. Also got something a little bit different for you all this evening. I will be doing a real world failure. That's right, a real world failure that occurred while I was flying just about a week or so ago. So I know I was going to say last week after Turn and Burn Tuesday, I said I was going to stream Wednesday, but it turned out to be a week of fun-filled activities, as one of the little eagles had a birthday. So it was his birthday week, so I had to celebrate their birthday pretty much the entire week. Something a little different, something a little special each day of the week. So there we go there. So I do apologize for not being able to stream Wednesday or Thursday. But coming at you now on Monday. Tomorrow we'll come at you at Turn and Burn Tuesday. And of course, I'll try to get another stream in on Wednesday, hopefully introducing a different failure that had actually happened to me. This one quite some time ago. But so tonight, stay tuned, because we're going to do something that actually occurred to me on the line. There's a little oopsie daisy here. Not anything major, just forgot to input one number somewhere, and but they actually do train us on this, and so our training kicked in, and we continued on. It was easy squeezy, and then we have another actual system failure. So there we go. You'll get a double dose in one flight, since this actually was a double dose in one flight when I actually flew this trip on the line. So here we go. Without further ado, let's go ahead and hop onto, that's not the right button, hop onto the flight deck. There we go. There's our correct button. We'll start by loading up the aircraft here. So we'll go load aircraft. We'll do GSX boarding and refueling. There we go. Excellent. And today I did do a little bit of Modify C. There's more of that Flight Simulator 2024. I do not know why it does that or what causes it, but there we go. But I hopped into GSX, did a little bit of customization for our gates here. So no longer, at least here and in Minneapolis, literally the only two places I did it, you shouldn't get those huge pallets for loading the airplane. You should get the regular baggage loaders like we're all used to seeing. So there we go. All right. Back onto the flight deck here. This should take a decent amount of time for them to do, which is perfect because it usually takes us a decent amount of time to get everything all ready and set up to go. Now that the fuel truck is in position, they're going to be able to start the boarding process. And I do realize now that, there we go, I didn't have flight sim volume going. There we go. That should be about a reasonable volume. Right about there. I'll turn on that sim. There we go. Even though you can't hear anyone online right now, it's because I don't have the right frequencies up. That's quite all right. Let's see. All right, yeah, it looks like really it's only the ground controller that's on, which is a-okay. All right, let's go ahead without any further ado. Let's get this aircraft up and going here. We'll position IR1 and 2 and 3 in the nav. Position will come straight on down the captain side of the overhead panel. Looking for extinguished lights. Captain Purser on the evac panel. More extinguished lights and guarded switches. Terrain fault is quite okay. We'll turn on the recorder ground control. And let's perform a CVR test. We have Squiddy Aviation. Hello. How are you doing, Squiddy? Glad you're able to join for another live stream. This one is going to be a slightly different than what we have been doing in the past. Of course, we'll do turnover on Tuesday tomorrow. But tonight, doing a one-leg sector and with some surprises in between. Really, the surprises are on departure and arrival. So, which is where we had most of our threats come at us. Let's see. So the recorder ground control, that tested good. Oxygen panel looks good. Our calls panel, that emergency switch is off and guarded. And our wiper, of course, is off. Let's go up to the overhead panel here. We'll test fire 1, the APU, and engine fire 2. That all looks good. On the hydraulic panel, that all looks good. Fuel panel, all the fuel pumps are off. Crossfeed and mode select is in the auto/extinguished position. Let's see. We know the battery test still has some fine tuning to do there. We won't worry about the battery test. Let's see. Coming on down to the air conditioning panel, everything looks good. The anti-ice panel, everything is extinguished. Propede as an auto. Cabin pressurization panel is checked with the ditching switch is in the extinguished and guarded position. Our external lights all look good. Let's go ahead and turn on the APU. Get that going. No smoking is on. Emergency lights are armed. Our PA is going to be out into the 3 o'clock position on the overhead panel, the observer's overhead panel there. Observer's APCP, I should say. Observer's RMP should be set to VHF3. Data mode, that looks good. Coming on down, everything should be extinguished here. Coming down to this cargo smoke panel. To make sure the agents are, the squibs or the fire bottles are armed and guarded. Oh, sorry, just guarded. And our ventilation panel, everything's extinguished. Engine panel everything looks extinguished and guarded there, with the first officer's wiper being in the off position. Going down to the glare shield, left or right, we want all extinguished lights there. Coming over to the EFIS, let me go ahead and pull a ATIS real quick. An ATIS. Let's see. The altimeter is 3000, so we'll go ahead and set 000 once, twice, and thrice. There we go. That is set. We have the flight directors on, constraints, arcs, 10 nautical miles, and we don't need the VOR or ADF. We have digits in the window here. We want to be in heading vertical speed with all the lights extinguished. On the first officer side, same thing. We can leave the VOR ADFs off, 10 nautical miles arc. Constraints and flight directors on with all the push buttons extinguished on this side. On the main instrument panel here, we want the PFD on the left, ND on the right. Our ISIS is aligned, upper ECAM display on the upper, lower ECAM display on the lower. Let's see, brake fan is off, landing gear down through green with the indicator on. The date and time are mostly correct here. Landing gear is down with no red arrow. On the first officer side, we do have the ND on the left, PFD on the right. We can adjust the brightness if we need to, coming on down to wrong button. The center pedestal here, let's go ahead and check our database is current. Yep, all the way until just after tax day. There we go. So April 16th is when the database changes over. Let's go ahead and go to a net and request that data. Excellent. We do have some ATC online. It's really just ground here in Denver 121.85. I'm quite all right with that. 121.85. We'll go ahead and set that. And then let's see, what is the Denver CTAF? We'll do .c TAF KDEN, and we got 124.3, so we'll go ahead and put that in there. 124.3, there we go. Ground control just switched that Lufthansa over to 1243. Already, Squiddy says, have you watched the Minecraft movie? I have not watched the Minecraft movie yet, although it seems like everywhere I go, and everything I buy has Minecraft on it right now. So, I mean, I'm gonna have to watch the Minecraft movie. I mean, it does have Jack Black, so there we go. You have to watch the Minecraft movie, but no, I haven't seen the Minecraft movie yet. That'll be on the list of movies to watch, though. Maybe can take the little eagle out to go see the Minecraft movie. So don't spoil it though. Don't spoil it, Squiddy. Alrighty. So got those frequencies set. The ACP looks at our lights are set how we need them. The weather radar is off, so that is good. Coming on up to the center of the pedestal here. Let's check our engine oil. That looks good. Hydraulics. That looks good. I got a little hydraulic thing for you here later on in the flight. I remember to go over that story. That was a weird write-up. Let's see our status. That all looks good, and of course we have oxygen in the tanks. We'll go ahead and recall any messages. There are none. That looks good. Our thrust levers at idle. Engine masters are off. Engine mode is normal. Speed brakes are disarmed. Flaps are up. We have digits in the window here. And our gravity gear extension is stowed. Coming over to the first officer side, we'll go to the ATSU. We'll just assume that his database is also current. What I want to do... Nope. I did not do that correctly. ATSU. AOC menu. Received messages. That's what I want. We'll go ahead and accept that. And I'll leave that on that page. That looks good. This RMP, we'll take them over to VHF1. His ACP looks good there. Lights are all set, and let's go ahead and put in the squawk that we got of 3732. So we'll go ahead and clear that out. And 3732. Excellent. Now that we have all of that out of the way, the last check we need to do, and I think GSX won't glitch out here, is the brake check. So we'll press both brakes, release the parking brake. I'll depress the left pedal. Looks good. Right pedal. Looks good. They both go down and up without any hesitation. And we'll set the parking brake there. Excellent. Let's see. So let's get into programming the McDo. We're going to be Frontier Flight 3318. It's going to be a cost index of 34. We'll be cruising along at an altitude of, I'd like to bounce up and down, 33,000 feet. Oh, no. I just need to put that in there. Alrighty. And the ISA deviation is going to be -1. Wow, -1. So it's going to be 52 degrees. Current ground temperature here is 19 degrees, starting to warm up in Denver, Colorado. Alrighty, and I have no clue where STC is, but that's our alternate. Alrighty, zero fuel weight, we're looking at an estimated zero fuel weight of 156.0. So we'll do 156.0 with a zero fuel weight CG of 26.0. Go ahead and throw that in there. A block fuel of 23.0. We'll do a route reserve of 0, and our alternate fuel is going to be 1.8. There we go. We'll depart off of runway 8. And we'll be on the, what are we looking at? Chewy 1. So we'll do the Chewy 1 Chewy. We'll go ahead and insert that. That all looks good there. And then for the arrival, let's see what they're doing in Minneapolis. 30 left, so it's going to be the 30s. Yeah, 30 left. We'll do 30 left. Excellent. So we'll do 30 left. We'll pick it up. Where's 30 left? We'll pick it up with ILS. There we go. That looks good. Alrighty. So MSP arrival. ILS 30 left. We're going to be on the Swan. Nope, that's Swan as a fix. It's going to be Torgy 3 Swan transition. So looking for Torgy 3 Swan transition. There we go. And approach vias. We'll just make it the nice long line. Although I don't know how the arrival looks. Let's see what the arrival looks like. Yeah, we'll do the nice long line from Hampton. There, that's the initial straight-in approach fix there. All right, sweet. So there should be a disconnect. Yep, there's a manual lag, and then we got Hampton. What's this? Okay, sweet. That all looks good. Alrighty, so that's still not what I wanted. When we go in to our Demithik says, yo, hello. Demithik, how are you doing this evening? Glad you could join another live stream. Really do appreciate you hopping on in and going for a quick ride with me. Here we go. I'm looking for the takeoff performance. There we go. So we'll go ahead and sing prelim. I like to add 2,000 pounds. So that's going to be 180.5. 180.5. There we go. Don't take credit for headwinds. There I am. We'll calculate that out, and we are going to send that to the MICDO. Let's go over here to net wins request. I've got a 0320 alarm tomorrow morning, so going to sleep. Hope the stream goes well. Thank you very much. Even though you were in and out super quick, do me think it does not matter to me. I really do appreciate you coming on in and saying hello in the chat. Really do appreciate that. Don't work too hard out there. 0320 sounds very early. Ugh. I'd much rather be here streaming. Alrighty. Let's see. So we have all of those numbers there, but I'm going to do something real quick here. So I'm going to blank out the screen real quick. Where's my main screen? Nope, that's not the one. Oh, there we go. I'm going to do something real quick, and there we go. I'll bring back the display. We'll go over to the next phase, all the way to the descent phase, and we'll go and insert 290 for our descent profile. Secondary flight plan, we'll go ahead and copy the active. There's really no engine failure procedure since we'll be heading away from the mountains, so that is good. All of that is done. Let me double check my clearance here real quick. Alrighty. Denver Chewy 1. Okay, so 330. Okay, squawk 3732. Cleared via the Chewy 1 departure. Chewy transition. Climb via the SID. Expect 330 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is offline. Expect runway 8. Contact ground with ATIS for push. Alright, cool. So, the SID says the top altitude is flight level 230. So let's go ahead and pre-select flight level 230 in there. Excellent. And the one thing you kind of got to remember with Denver is you're already pretty much at like 5,500 feet. So, 10,000 feet actually comes up pretty quickly there. Let's go ahead and our IRs are aligned. Recorder ground control is on so we can get our checklist. Our EFIS panel is set. Let's go ahead and throw terrain on ND. The parking brake is on and a triple indicator is checked. ACP is set. RMP is set. Let's go ahead and check our position here against what we have here. Let's go ahead and hide you. There. So I got 39 at 51.7, 39 51.3, and 104 40.4, 104 40.3. That looks good. The ND looks appropriate. The PFD, we got V1, V2, climb and nav are blue, flight directors 1 and 2. And we can go ahead and check our oxygen. There we go. All is well with the world. Let's see. Now we can go ahead and verify our route, shall we? So we will pull up this. Zoom on in. 8. There's runway 8 right there. So we'll go to plan mode. Light plan over here. Alrighty. So stepping through this off of runway 8 on the Chewy 1 is going to be a 083 heading to 5934. Then we'll proceed on course to Royal at or below 10,000 feet. Checks. Then we got Turbine. Then Chicken at above 14,000 feet. Then Vila at above 16,000 feet. Then Yokes at above 17,000 feet. And then Longwood. And lastly, Chewy. From Chewy, we'll go ahead and bring up our flight plan here. We go direct to Lucky. Or Lucky. I guess that's how you say that. Lucky. And then direct Swan. Swan is going to be the transition on the, what is that? The Porgy 3 arrival into Minneapolis. And we have a total distance of 644 miles, 654 miles. That's good enough for me. Excellent. So now we can go ahead and begin our briefing for Ghost FO. Ghost FO, are you ready? Oh, look at the passengers. Hello. We're going to have a pretty full flight. Are you ready for a briefing, Ghost FO? Yep. All right. What are your threats? Well, the biggest threat will be taxiing around Denver. It's going to be quite a long taxi out there. Yep, it's a long taxi out, high altitude airport. So we got to remember our MSL and AGL. MSL for the lights, AGL for sterile. It's going to be at 15,000 feet instead of, or 15,500 instead of at 10,000 feet. Yes, that sounds good. We'll push back. We'll start both engines up. Since this should be a pretty straightforward taxi, it'll be like Lima or Mike, it looks like, all the way down to 8. Once we do get there, plan on doing a flaps to flex. Standard reject considerations. Any questions about what we reject for? Nope. Alrighty. In the event of an engine failure after V1, we'll continue straight ahead to about 7,000 or 8,000 feet. We'll clean up the aircraft, run the ECAM, and plan an emergency return. They're landing to the south. So 17 right has 12,000 feet of runway. All the runways have pretty much 12,000 feet or more of runway. if we really need all of it. We have 16,000 feet of runway on 16 right, so we can definitely do that. Otherwise, we'll continue out on the SID. We'll climb via the SID. Flight level 230 is the top altitude. I have departure frequency set up here, or that's the tower frequency. And we're squawking 3732. Any questions? Nope, no questions. Excellent. We'll go ahead and finish our before start flow here. But I'm going to check our fuel. It's onboard balanced. The pumps are on. That looks good. Hydraulics all look good there. Pressurization should be an auto. Don't know why we got a slight bump there, but I know the door closed, but you shouldn't really get that big of a bump. Auto with a correct landing elevation and engine oil. That all looks good. Excellent. Door is closed. Let's go ahead and run a before start checklist if I can get my checklist. Alright, before start checklist, the recorder ground control is on. Flight forms and maintenance log. Onboard reviewed aircraft 718. Fuel quantity 23.0 required, 23.0 on board. Takeoff performance.
3 Denver ground, confirm squawking 2215.
Takeoff performance, we have 153, 156, 156 with a flex of 62. Oxygen is checked. Seatbelt sign on. ECAM checked. The parking brake is on and checked. MCDU is set. Altimeters, we have 3,000. Departure briefings review. The before start checklist is complete. There we go. With that, we can go ahead. I'm gonna get rid of this real quick.
You're still squawking 1234. Maybe try restarting V-pilot. Your same clearance will still be valid.
Alrighty. We'll go ahead and do that.
Yep, Southwest 353, Denver ground, push in terms of approved, push straight back to the first line, call for taxi.
Alright, push back to the first line, we'll call for taxi, Southwest 353.
Sorry about that. One of the little eagles just doesn't know how to put pajamas on for some reason. Has to throw them on top of his door. So I had to go retrieve his pajamas for him. Alrighty. Let's see. Where was I? Yep, we were getting ready to push back here. GSX. And we'll oh yeah, one of the things, I absolutely hate this. I hate this mess. Fenix, just do it automatically. Disconnect the GPU. I don't know why that has to be a manual thing. Alrighty. Let's see what vPilot is showing. The ATIS number is... Oh, tower is online. Wow, okay. Charlie, it looks like. Hello, ground. Frontier Flight 3318 is ready for pushback. We have information. Charlie.
Frontier Flight 3013, squawk normal.
Yeah, we just turned on the mode C there for you for Frontier Flight 3318.
There we go. Frontier Flight 3318, Denver ground, push in terms of approved, push straight back to the first line, call for taxi, and thanks for Charlie.
Alrighty, we'll push straight back for Frontier Flight 3318. Alright, he says straight back, so let's go ahead, bring you up, continue pushback. push straight back?
Flight 3318, be advised, it's actually departure radius information November.
Okay, yep, sorry. Clicked on the 1-1. We're getting it now.
All good. You're still cleared for push and start, though.
Alrighty, still clear for push and start for Frontier Flight 3318. Alrighty. Alrighty, we'll release the parking brakes there. Let's go ahead and get our load sheet here. We will accept.
Southwest 2257.
So, their fuel weight of 156.0, 156.0, and 26.0. So, that looks good. Alright. So, I'll leave that where it is. We will probably leave that there, pull you up there, and let's go ahead and do an engine start, shall we? Turn up the volume a little bit or a lot bit.
Denver ground, United 693 Heavy at gate Bravo 32 with November. Request technology.
There we go. Excellent. Okay, we'll let it do whatever it needs to do. There we go. We'll set the brakes.
Denver ground, Southwest 323 with November ready to taxi runway 8.
Southwest 353, it should be number, or runway 8, your PDC, runway 8, taxi, Charlie Sierra Mike.
Runway 8, Charlie Sierra Mike, Southwest 353.
Alright, just trying to find where she's going to be. Always in the exact wrong spot. I wish GSX could change that. It's like always right behind a pillar is where they put them. Why? Alrighty, there we go. So, she showed us the pin. Have a salute. Flaps 2.
Departure information Oscar, arrival information Delta. Denver altimeter 2999.
999. There we go. That is all set. Alrighty. I literally don't know what goes on in that kid's room. He clearly knocked something over. Don't know if the microphone picked that up. Alrighty, so got all of that done. Let's go ahead and check our status. That all looks good. After start checklist, engine anti-ice, we do not need. The status is checked. And the rotor trim is at 0. After start checklist is complete. Alrighty. We are clear on the left, and the sensitivity is so insanely high. Clear on the right. Up at mouse. Alright, there you go. We'll release the brakes, and what did he say the ATIS was? They just changed it. Oscar. There we go. Yep, that looks good.
5, November call, Southwest.
Low ground. Frontier Flight 3318 with Oscar ready to taxi.
Frontier Flight 3318, thanks for Oscar, runway 8, taxi at Bravo Sierra Mike.
Via Bravo Sierra and Mike or Frontier Flight 3318. So this map doesn't have it, but Bravo Sierra is the bottom side. I don't know why this map is less detailed than... That's so weird. But this map is less detailed than the one on my actual my charts app. So I got the charts app up on my secondary screen. So we'll take the southern line with Bravo Sierra. Or actually, yeah, no, that's the northern line. So that would be here. Bravo Sierra is this line. So we will take this line out and then take Mike right on up. Pretty straightforward. Alrighty. Very odd that this doesn't have that on there. So we're clear on the left, we're clear on the right. We'll go ahead and swing the turn here. Lengi says, hello, hello, hello. How are you doing, Lang? Welcome again to another chat. Glad you are able to make it out to a not turn and burn event. There we go. It says, hi, Eagle. How are you doing?
Oh, sorry about that. Taxi to Alpha 36 via Foxtrot Alpha Sierra.
Foxtrot Alpha Sierra,
United 353, contacted my tower, 12443.
You're acting like invisible. No, sir. I just saw all of your little things there. Dude, hello, sir. You're doing... What is that? What is YHC? Is that I have no clue where that is. Y sounds Canadian. You should know that one. I don't know. I'm thinking Bar Harbor, but that's not Bar Harbor. Somewhere in Canada. I just don't know where in Canada. Alright, let's see. Why? Oh, you know what? It's over here. That's where we're seeing. Yeah, so we're here. We're going up to Bravo Sierra, which is this exit. That's why. Okay, I was like, why isn't this... Alright. Now it tracks. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Now we're doing a thing. Now we're cooking with Crisco. Nope, don't want to go all the way to the terminal there. Couldn't see the line. There's the line. We'll turn right here. Yeah, Lang, where's YHZ? I should know this. Like, I feel like I know this. I want to say Bar Harbor, but I... Halifax? Halifax. It's Halifax. There we go. The channel is not anywhere near getting the mod there, Lang. When there comes a certain time, let me turn the sim volume down. There we go. When there comes that certain time, they consider mods. You'll be right up there, Lang. Let's see. Let me get everything back up how I had it. All right, there we go. Taxiing on out. I'm gonna throw this on over to the other side there, so we get more of a realistic. Well, the iPad is always on your left, right? So we shall go ahead and do that. When we turn on mic, we can go ahead and do our flight control check and do our before takeoff checklist there. Literally looks like we're going uphill right here. It's like taking a ridiculous amount of power to get up this hill. 45% going uphill. And a mic is going to be the second turn here. And that should take us right on down to the end. Once we make this left-hand turn, we'll swing the flight controls. All right. Here on the, and we're on mic going northbound. Hopefully at idle thrust we'll keep taxiing. I have no clue. Let's go ahead and swing the flight control, shall we?
Southwest 2257, contact Denver Tower 12.
Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Rudders. Full left. Full right. Neutral. I definitely need to get some sort of slip pad for my rudders. Here, they definitely are slipping from underneath me. Let's go ahead and put you on max. Looks good about right there. Do a takeoff config check. We're holding steady at about 11 knots. Let's go ahead and there's no one else in front of us. We can go ahead and see the flight attendants as well. Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff. There we go. And back up and at it again. Before takeoff checklist flaps, we have 2 planned and 2 indicated takeoff data and speeds are checked. The weight is at 178.6. Yeah, 178.6. And we were looking at 178.4. So that looks good there. Stab trim is 25.2%. We're planning on 25.2%. That looks good. Flight controls are checked. ECAM takeoff no blue. We are to the line. We can go ahead and, as I slowly taxi us into the grass, let's go ahead and go below the line. Runway and FMS. Runway 08 in the box on the screen and out of my window that is checked. Minimum takeoff fuel. Let's go ahead and bring up our tablet. Looking at admin, takeoff fuel of 22.4 is required. We have 22.6 on board. Flight attendants are notified. Engine mode norm. TCAS. Oop, gotta switch that over to TARA. Oh, for some reason it was already on TARA. Sweet too. The before takeoff checklist is complete. Langy, hard answer, no. No mods right now. See, Denver Tower 124.3. That should be in here. 243. It's not letting you into Discord there, Lang. Did you accept the rules? I should have a rules page up. Is he gonna send me over to tower or not? Is my question. Frontier flight 3318 over to tower.
Yep, you can go over to tower now. Frontier flight 3318, contact Denver Tower 124.3.
Alright, see ya. Have a great night. Thanks for the ATC. Alrighty. And we'll pre-select 22.8. There we go. Hello, Tower. Frontier Flight 3318, holding short of runway 8.
Frontier Flight 3318, Denver Tower, RNF2 Royal, runway 8, cleared for takeoff.
Alrighty, RNAV Royal, runway 8, clear for takeoff. Frontier Flight 3318. Excellent. We're cleared for takeoff. Let's go ahead and get all of our... Nope. I did that wrong. Okay, let's try this. There. Nope. Wrong way. There we go. Excellent. Not as hard as that seemed. Alrighty. The volume is coming back up again. I will see you all in the air. %, on the N1s. Half down on the side stick. Flex. Toga. Thrust set. Checked. V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Climb. Climb is sad. Frequency change approved for Frontier Flight 3318. Thanks for the ATC. Have a great night. Excellent. We'll go ahead and switch over to a Unicom there. We've met our accelerating here. We can go ahead and go flaps 1. Ooh, excellent. We're gonna get to see an auto flap retract on this one. Let's get to the back and look at the auto flap retract there. Long takeoff for a long airplane. Yeah, you can see. There's the auto retract right there. Excellent. Let's go ahead and take a look up front and let's see what our speed is. Yeah, we're at S speed. Let's go ahead and go flaps up after takeoff checklist. Beautiful. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and disarm our speed brakes there. And I'll bring the simulator volume back down to a more reasonable level. There we go. That should be reasonable enough for us. We're at or below 10,000 feet over Royal, so that looks good. After takeoff checklist, the landing gear is up, flaps are up, and our pressurization is pressurizing. There we go. It's checked. Yeah, after takeoff checklist is complete. Looking here, temperature looks a little warm in the back, so I'll probably turn it down just a little. You see there, it's a little warm in the back, so we'll do that. Yeah, take it off directly into the sun there, Max Racing. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining me for another live stream. Really do appreciate it, Max. How are you doing this evening? Yeah, you said taking off directly into the sun. Gotta bust out the sunglasses for sure, for sure. There's some times where you're taking off directly into the sun where you're wearing your sunglasses and you got your visor down. Now, this you can't adjust the angle, but usually you'll adjust the angle so that you get more vision, you know, more of a clear sight here. That way the visor is really just kind of blocking the sun from coming in right up top there. But yeah, definitely taking off or flying into the sun, we'll go ahead and get those visors down. Excellent. I almost always fly with this visor down for sure, because it's so far behind me, it's not even affecting my peripheral vision. Whereas this one, I'll usually oh yeah, forget about the cruise portion. Here we go. There's our lights. And what is this? Who is contacting me? Denver Center got online. All right, 12765. All right, Denver Center is now online. 12765. Here we go. So we've crossed 10,000 feet for our lights, but we're still in sterile. So Center, Frontier Flight 3318 is 12,000. We're climbing flight level 230 on the Chewy 1.
Suspect 257, Denver Center, hello. And the other guy calling was Frontier Flight 3318, correct?
Hey, affirmative.
I'll just make it up.
Sweet deal. Max Racing says the sharklets are awesome. These sharklets are a thing of beauty. Look at that. I absolutely love how Frontier does their sharklets as well, with a mountain lion coming down looking right at you. That's awesome. I gotta give it a Frontier. They might not be like, you know, the fanciest airline in the world, but they do have some really cool liveries. I gotta give it to them. So some of you may have noticed we got a little ding on takeoff there. I was trying to hide it. I don't know if anyone out there was sharp enough to see that. And our performance page here for takeoff, we didn't have a flex temperature. And that really did happen on the line. Now there's a few other threats that happened, you know, with a runway. They completely flip-flopped the runway over. So we were expecting to take off one direction, and they flipped the airport around, and we didn't have any of the numbers for the other runway in the McDo. So a lot of times when you go over to the performance page for your takeoff data, you'll have it's depending on the airplane, like I&I builds, they have it grayed out where it's like performance initialization, performance init, perf init, and you can select that. And in there is like a few runways, and we're through the stereo cockpit altitude, so we'll go ahead and let them know. With all the performance data, well, they only had the performance data for the one runway in there, so it didn't uplink. So we had to go in and get new data. And when the first officer transcribed it, he forgot to put in a flex temperature. Perfectly okay. It has happened before. I have had that happen before. It will happen again. But it's no big deal if you don't have a flex temperature. If you notice, when I get the ding, what did I do? You look down, it says, you know, the flex not set, or flex temperature not set, or something like that is the ECAM, you just go to Toga. You just go to Toga, because those numbers are going to be valid at Toga from your flex temperature all the way up to Toga. So you just go to Toga, you have takeoff numbers, and you just rotate at the speed you're supposed to rotate at. Let's see. We are transition standard, so we'll set that once, twice, and thrice. We'll go ahead and get that wing light off. We can go ahead and get our in-flight entertainment going here, our in-flight audio. There we go. Hopefully you all can hear that.
Excuse me, 2419 is Delta.
One thing I did notice with that super long takeoff roll and super high speeds, I might need to adjust the tension on my my rotors. I think I have it set a little too high, or maybe give it a little bit of a curve, because at higher speeds it kind of starts getting out of hand. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I got some things I need to do to figure that one out. More flying needs to be done. But yeah. So that was thing number one. Let's see. Let me go ahead and set up our second scenario now. That's going to be coming into Minneapolis. I just need to know one thing. Alrighty, so let me go ahead and I'm going to set up this next failure into Minneapolis. I am once again gonna blank out the screen. Don't worry, it should be back momentarily. I am still here. The screen is just blanked out for a little bit while I find where I want this. Okay, there it is. We'll do that. We'll arm it. I hope that's an MSL altitude, so that is there. So that failure, no, it should be armed. Why? Okay. Okay. I was like, it should be armed. I don't know. Slight momentary transitory glitch there, but everything is working perfectly fine. There we go. We're leveling off here at flight level 230. Let me see if this is where he wants us at. Center Frontier Flight 3318, looking for higher.
Yeah, Frontier Flight 3318, yeah, climb maintain flight level 330.
Okay, we'll climb maintain flight level 330 for Frontier Flight 3318. Alrighty, so we can go all the way up to 33. That is set. And we'll go ahead and check our progress page. 33 looks good. Our optimal is 34, so we're doing really good there. Excellent. All of that is looking a-okay. Let's get some more looks at that beautiful sharklet there.
Running 140 north 5, official 16 left, United 2419.
The sharklets are awesome, but they also do cut out a little bit of that drag, and it's especially noticeable when you're coming into land, because you get that extra little bit of float with the sharklets that you don't get with the non-sharklets. So I actually cannot wait for this this update that Fenix has been working on quietly in the background here. Which, by the way, I'll probably bring up once we get to cruise. We'll take a look at the update Phoenix is planning on. Their roadmap, their 2025 roadmap. So some exciting things coming down the pipeline from Phoenix, and a little bit of a shock for some of the people who were hating on Phoenix for going and dunking on I builds, which admittedly, Phoenix should not have been dunking on I builds, A350, and it is what it is. But everyone thought they were dunking on I not having a full, engine simulation and ECAM simulation. And it is what it is, I does their thing. It's a good enough airplane to fly. I'm not a 350 rated pilot, so like it will never matter to me as much as it would matter to an actual 350 rated pilot. Is it me, or does spoiler number 5 look like it's like sticking up just ever so slightly? Now I gotta look at this. Is that just... Yeah, spoiler number 5 is sticking up ever so slightly. What, is that a modeling thing? I have no clue. Also, you see how we have the other thing I do like about the FMs. They got the serrated exhaust, serrated tailpipe there, or that extra, just a little bit. It's just an extra little bit of mixing of hot and cold air to reduce that sound just a little bit. So I guess that brings the noise down just enough to be in compliance with, I don't even know what level there are. In terms of decibels. It's the stage 3 or stage 4. I forget what it is over in Europe that they have to have certain noise restrictions. So, which is why in Europe, Neos and Maxes are very popular. Just new engines in general are very popular airplanes because they easily meet the noise certifications for now and future noise certifications. So, and that's why this engine has the serrated tailpipe. Godfather, how are you doing? Hey, bro. Just wanted to say thank you. I fly the Phoenix, and your videos have helped me a lot. Well, thank you very much, Godfather. I really do appreciate take a little bit of time and looking at a little bit of my tutorial videos coming up here, and probably another month. I don't know if I'm gonna do another series. Kind of like how I did the first one, train like a professional series. I might do a continuation of that because I have my recurrent training coming back up here this summer sometime. So look for some of those videos to be popping back up, or I might do a live stream like that where we pop in, I don't know, name a place, JFK, Orlando, Seattle, I don't know. We'll pop in someplace, and do some stuff that I'd actually do in recurrent training. I haven't actually taken a look to see what's on the syllabus this year, but I don't think it's anything mind-blowing. But yeah, no, thank you, Godfather. I really do appreciate you coming in and saying hello, and any little bit that helps can help, and hopefully you saw earlier the takeoff roll there. I was just talking about that not too long ago in our climb out, where what happened to me on the line is what I just simulated there, where we forgot to put in a flex temperature, and on takeoff when you go to set flex thrust, it's not gonna set flex thrust because it doesn't know what that is. So then you'll get an ECAM message that'll tell you that, and it'll say set toga. So all you do is set toga and you keep going, because if you're good with less than toga, you're definitely good with toga. to take off, so there's no reason to reject a takeoff over that, especially since your engines may not spool down or roll back simultaneously and evenly. So there's a lot of considerations when you start getting that thrust above the 50% range there. So yeah, excellent. We'll be looking forward to watching. Yeah, thank you very much, Godfather. Yeah, so I think I'm leaning towards making part 2 of the Train Like a Professional series, and I'm actually looking forward to it. I might go back into 2020 to do it, just so I can get an apples to apples comparison, because the V1 cuts in version 1 of the Fenix was horrendous. It was, and I have seen a few different YouTubers try to do the tutorial, or do a tutorial on that, or do some sort of V1 cut. And the Fenix was very, very, very picky. Like, if you didn't exactly maintain the pitch attitude you needed to, the airplane would just fall right out the sky. It was super weird. So I want to go back and revisit that and see how version 2 of the Fenix has improved over version 1 when it comes to single engine or engine failure after V1. So that is one of the episodes I'm definitely looking forward to doing. Let's see, we're still climbing on up here. We're almost there. We're pretty much, that was the wrong button. 32 for 33. There we go. Let's check our temperatures here. A little chilly in the mid, or in the forward cabin there. So, man, there's like a ton of people in the aft cabin there.
Minneapolis Center is offline. Rear service terminated. Frequency change approved to you.
Alrighty, and we'll do one more thing here. We'll go ahead and, I don't know what time it is in the real world. We'll just pretend it's a time. So oftentimes whenever the new wind forecast comes out, we'll request that wind so we can get the latest winds, and we'll insert that uplink. Excellent. That way we get the most correct winds. It updates all of our fuel planning here. It'll change our Mach speed if we really do need to change our Mach speed accordingly, based on our cost index, of course. And then lastly, we're going to do an altitude, AHEFO. So altitude cross checks. We're at 33,000 feet on the left, 33,000 feet on the right, and 33,000 feet in the middle. Hydraulic. So you see the green system is a little low. That's because the gear is up in the well there. And then the green and yellow, or the blue and yellow, look good. Engine oil. Yeah, oil is now circulating through the system. So we got 13 quarts. That looks good. A fuel. Center tanks are empty. That's why they're off. And we're only using wing tank fuel right now. So 18.1, so that looks good. And the other thing we want to do is, we'd have a fuel slip, so we'd be able to see what fuel we left with. It's like 22 something, so you want to make sure your fuel used matches what your burn rate should be. And then lastly, oxygen. To make sure you're not leaking any oxygen, because like I said in a prior video, I learned that in an Egypt air flight that went down over the Mediterranean, they think the cause of that was an oxygen mask was leaking, so definitely want to check to make sure you don't have any leaking oxygen. I'll give the front a little bit more time to warm up there, but back on. So while I'm thinking about it, thinking about hydraulics, so we'll zoom in here on the hydraulic page.
We'll report final approach take straight in to runway 63.
Here we go. Is that a beautiful enough shot for you guys? There we go. So yeah, it's just the oddest write-up I've ever seen. So one night, I guess, I'll start off by saying we're supposed to check, you know how before every flight I check the fluids, right? You do a fluids check before and after each flight. You see me do it for the most part before every flight. Sometimes if I'm actually going to let GSX do his thing, you'll see me do it after each flight. And I guess after one of the flights, one of the captains noticed that the fluid level, this little arrow, carrot, whatever you want to call it, was either all the way at the top or maybe just above that top line there for the yellow and the green system. So they said, and I kid you not, the write-up was after engine shutdown, yellow and green hydraulic systems overfilled. I was like, okay. So what did maintenance do? They came out and drained the system down back into the fill range, right? And they have their own procedures, right? Like we just see this, but they can see other things, and they have their procedures in their manual that they have to do and follow by it. They have a very specific way they need to service the hydraulic system. So he bleeds the hydraulic system down to whatever the maintenance manual says it should be at, yada yada yada. So now I get the airplane the next morning. And I'm doing my checks, you know, before departure. When I check the hydraulic system, knowing that what was written up before, we have a company message. Let me go ahead and check the company message. Alright, no ADC required. Cool. I think they've just given up on that. Did I get that twice? Interesting. So I noticed that, you know, the green system is not all the way at the bottom, but it's really close to the bottom, like really close to the bottom. And the yellow system is actually probably just below the bottom. And mind you, when you're on the ground, the yellow system will generally be below the bottom because your cargo doors are open, and that uses that yellow system fluid. So it will go down if the doors are open, which is okay. That's perfectly fine. So I made a note to myself. I said, okay, I'm gonna make sure when the doors close that we have enough, and then we'll be good to go. So, you know, the doors close. I do my double check here. Everything looks good. The green is still like on the bottom side, but I'm like, it's in the fill band, right? It's in the fill band. That's all I care about. So I tell my first officer, I say, hey, I'm going to keep an eye on this, because if this is still below the green band, because I knew when we took off and we raised the gear, this was going to come down to, you know, here. It actually was a little bit lower. But I knew the green system was going to be below the fill range. I said, well, if we get to where we were going and this is still below this range, I'm writing it up. So surely enough, we land, and I do my after landing checks, or my after shutdown checks, and wouldn't you know it, the green system never came all the way back up to the bottom of the fill line. So I had to write up an airplane that the captain before wrote up for too much hydraulic fluid, for too little hydraulic fluid, It's, you know, that's one of those that was like, what were they thinking when they wrote this up? One, how did you magically gain hydraulic fluid during flight? And two, when has too much hydraulic fluid been a bad thing? But, you know, maintenance did what they were told to do, right? And, hey, you need to go out and train the hydraulic system down to X amount of level. Okay. And I get the airplane, and now I'm like, we don't have enough hydraulic fluid. So, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, some people live in their own bubble. I don't know. I have no clue what that person was thinking. And I probably never will. Who knows if I'll ever see them. That's not for us. But yeah, that was one of the oddest write-ups I've ever seen, which also led to me writing it up again to undo that person's write-up. Yeah, so, yeah, Godfather, you say cool. I was going to fly my INI Beals A350 from Denver to LA. Maybe I'll fly Frontier and fly the Fenix instead. There you go. Yeah, so with this flight, I'll go ahead and we can stop staring at the hydraulic panel there now. I knew I wanted to do Frontier, I just didn't know where I wanted to do it from. And I knew I wanted to do a slightly longer segment, so LA or San Francisco, really good hops for Frontier out of Denver. If you want to do those, I don't know which version of the simulator you have and what level. You know, they have the basic, all the way up to like the Aviator Master Platinum Plus edition that comes with a model airplane and all that stuff. So I don't know which version of the game you have, but if you have the Ultimate, I think it's called, then you should have a handcrafted LA and a handcrafted San Francisco, so you don't even have to buy the scenery. I don't buy the sceneries for those. I mean, there are LA and San Francisco sceneries that you can buy if you really want to buy them, but I'm quite all right with the handcrafted airports. I'm not trying to spend, you know, a ton of money buying up all the airports from around the world. That's one, that can get quite expensive, and two, you would need a stupid amount of hard drive space for that. So at least with so you have Flight Simulator 2024, that's good, because at least then most of that stuff is being streamed from the server down to your computer. So you're actually taking up less hard drive space. Like I have both 2020 and 2024, and 2020 takes up I have far less airports installed. I have, well, I should say about the same amount of airports installed. So what I did was, you know, a lot of people aren't doing this, but it is what it is. They said all your scenery should work with 2020 and 2024. So I literally copied my entire community folder and slid it over to 2024. And for the most part, the vast majority of the airports work. Some of them didn't, so I had to go and reinstall them specifically for 2024. But yeah, that's how I got mine. And even then, I still have a smaller community folder than, or I should say the overall install package is still smaller than 2020, and it loads faster. 2024 does load faster, so that's really good. San Francisco and LAX, the new LAX is nice. Are you talking about the INI LAX there, Godfather? And I know they just update that one, so I'm not too sure. You know, what they improved upon. I know out in the real world LAX, there's a ton of construction going on in preparation for the LA Olympics that will be coming in 2028. So they're doing a lot of preparation over there, and not just the airport, but in the city in general. I think the airport's going to get a train line as well. They're going to get like some sort of like metro station at the airport, so to handle the massive amount of people that will be coming in. So the city is definitely putting in some money into the 2028 Olympics there, which you know, good for them for spending their money and improving the infrastructure there. But yeah, the INI builds, I mean, I have no doubt that the INI builds is a fantastic product. INI makes high quality scenery. I don't have many INI build sceneries. I definitely do have the freeware, the Milwaukee, the INI Milwaukee scenery, which I do have to say absolutely top tier. I'm not a huge fan of simulating interiors and people walking around and stuff like that, but you know, some people like it, so it is what it is. Standing on the other side of that glass, to be honest, you literally rarely ever see what's inside, so it's not that big of a deal to me. It's just a frame rate killer. That's how I see it. So but it does look pretty, and I understand it has its purpose, right? You know, people like to pretend to walk around the terminal, right? Sometimes, you know, I like to sit back here while I'm flying and just pretend to be a passenger, right? Like, look at these beautiful wing views. Just sit here and be a passenger and watch the world go by. Although, the world does not look like it's going by in high quality, does it? What is going on? It's slowly loading in. It is loading in. Oh, well, it's high quality. There's not a lot out here. That's why. What is this? Thetford? That little airport down there, Thetford. And that's about it. That's literally the only thing out here. Little road going east-west right there. Yeah, literally. Not much going on out here. It was just weird that it's not streaming in at a very high quality. That's disappointing. So yeah, I did not know INI Bills makes great scenery. They do, Godfather. They do. You get the freeware too. Yeah. I mean, why not get the? It's free and it's a really good quality. Yes, it's Milwaukee, so you're not going to be really getting like a lot of heavy use out of it, and maybe that's why they made it free, is because it's one of those like off the beaten path airports. But hey, I'll take a free INI built airport that gets commercial service from almost all the airlines in the U.S. You know. All right, here. Let's see. What I want to do. See if I can bring this out. Yeah, I can. Cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Fenix has in store for 2025, shall we? So, what we have here, try to put it where I'm not blocking too much. There we go. Is the 2025 roadmap. This came out the 28th of March. Wow. Really? It feels like it just get. What, is time flying by? Is it just me? It feels like this literally came out 2 or 3 days ago. I literally remember myself saying when this came out, I literally screamed in the house by myself, "Let's go!" Because I was that excited, one, to hear news from Fenix, and two, to see that they weren't going to be doing an A350 like literally everyone thought they were doing, since they were casting shade on I&I builds for not having a detailed ECAM and detailed engine simulation. And this is why they were throwing shade at I&I right here. Why? Because Fenix is going to be doing the A320 Neo, and look at that. That definitely must be a 2024 rendering right there, with the snow on top of it. I wonder if we'll get snow accumulation, and I wonder if it really will come off when you de-ice. I am looking forward to some of the things that they have going on here. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this. A picture is worth 1,000 words or something, right? I won't leave you on a cliffhanger. Don't worry. I wrote 1,000 words too. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our 2025 roadmap. It starts with a BFU, Big Fenix Update. Or take that however you want to. It could be a big FU. Who knows? But I think you want to hear about the new thing first. So, straight to the point, we built some Neos. And now that we've started flight testing them internally, we felt it a good time to start talking about them. There's still a bit of work to do, but for now, I have enough to start outlining some of the juicy details at least. And there, we see a beautiful... I wouldn't be able to tell just from the look of it. I'm guessing that is a LEAP, but it is a Neo engine. With the cowling represented correctly, the tail cone represented correctly. Absolutely beautiful. Let me know if it's too small for anyone to see. I can always make it bigger for you all. All right. Let's see. I'll try not to get it where you can't see at least a little bit of the picture. Yeah, we'll stop it right about there. To begin with, instead of attempting to turn our CO into a Neo with a bit of brain surgery and ECAM fiddling, we've opted to replace the entire ECAM from the ground up at a Neo standard, which is that is literally the reason why they were casting shade on I&I, is because, they think, I don't know if it's a fact or not, but I&I may have faked some ECAM stuff here and there, whereas they have gone in and completely redone their thing. They're doing it separately from, I forget, ProSim, I think is the software they were using initially. So now Fenix is really becoming their own company with their own standard, which is absolutely amazing. They go on to say this wholly and solely Fenix, no longer shared with ProSim, right there, ProSim, SimMO for internet arguments, there we go. As a result, we've been able to dive down ECAM messages and functions not present even within a prior implementation, unlocking a whole host of possibilities for features we're not quite pulling the covers off yet. We've always maintained we didn't plan on building the Neos, which is true. So if you were on their forums, you will know that they pretty much were dead set on, like, people were like, Neos win, we want Neos, yada yada yada. And they were like, no, we're not going to do Neos. We'll never do Neos. It's not on the table. Don't even think about it. Stop asking for it. We're not doing the Neos. Yeah, he goes on to say, we refused to commit to it until we were certain we could bring an entirely new ECAM without spending 5+ years doing it, as the viability of the project hinged on it. It is only in these last few weeks we have finally been happy to give it the green light. This is a 2025 roadmap, but some of the things aren't quite ready to leave Skunkworks. If you know, you know, Skunkworks. Regardless, this brain replacement meant we had to start from the beginning. Once again, we rewired the entire airplane, all of it, every single sensor, valve, generator, pump, switch, button, what have you. She had to learn how to see, breathe, and feel again. Yes. Let's scroll on down here. This time she learned to do it like a Neo, not an old one, nor an early one. A modern standard representative airplane. While this may initially seem a bit over the top, in line with what we'd like to achieve with this aircraft, we view it as entirely necessary, given this process also allows us to pull apart anything that simply did not belong on a modern 320 and toss it.
Minneapolis Center is offline. Road service terminated. Frequency change approved. See ya.
Alrighty, frequency change approved for Frontier Flight 3318. Thanks for the ATC, and you have a great night. Alright, let's go up front. We shall switch you back over to 12218. I will go ahead and prep. Let's see. What is Minneapolis? CTAF. It's going to be 26.7. There we go. All right, there we go. All right, that's starting to come in a little bit more higher resolution than what it was before. Excellent. Let's go ahead and bring up the. Where was it? There it is. Ooh. There we go. I lost exactly where it was. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like they went through, since they're building their own ECAM from the ground up, and they pretty much went on two parallel tracks, a Neo track and a CO track. That's what it seems like. They went on a Neo track and a CO track. Hopefully I'm gonna move that there. I'm trying to get that low enough where you guys can see it. There we go. That should be a little bit better. So yeah, they have a Neo track and a CO track, which is going to be fantastic, because now some of that stuff that are exclusive to the CO, you'll get exclusively to the CO. The stuff that's exclusive to Neo, you're going to get the stuff that's exclusive to the Neo. And it seems like they're upgrading it from an older version. So, you know, Airbus does upgrade their software over time, and that software can be pushed to operators to upload onto the airplane. So it will be very interesting to see which version of software we're getting upgraded on. We've been going through a lot: oxygen, fuel, pressurization, electrical bleeds. The correct model bleed monitoring computer, the BMCs, nice, has been installed, for example, with rustic changes to its logic. Details big and small across the entire network of systems. Heck, we're even replacing the batteries. Nice. They have the higher capacity NiCads. So that's going to be really good too. The NiCads have a little bit more capacity in them, a little bit lighter weight as well, and a little bit more reliable. So there we go. This isn't a CEO and a face mask. We're going all out, which I would expect nothing less from Fenix. In that light, we've also built Dreams. Awesome. If you've flown the A350, you've seen the Dream system. In fact, if you've flown what is it, the INI 321, then you've seen the Dream system, which I absolutely like because it's so easy to use with changing frequencies. No longer are you having to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll to get to the frequency. You can just press a few buttons, boom, you got your new frequency, and you flip the switch. And of course, functionally complete, right down to left, right context sharing. the various input validation functions, and very importantly, the nifty animation too. The new Dreams panel is wired completely different to the ACP of old in the back end, being a fully digital system, and the Fenix Neo represents this faithfully to the wire. I'm not gonna show you the unit yet. The final touches aren't going on. I guess that means the art isn't completely done on it. I'm not too sure what that means. I'll save most of this for later. I think you'll get the gist for now. We have some more work to do on the wax lyrical about this again. Let's see. Okay, some more quick details. Launching later this year. Okay, so they're looking, I don't know, probably Q3 or Q4 this year. They're building the 320 Neo and 321 Neo. The Leaps and the Gear Turbofans. Very nice, because I think right now the only version we have are Leaps. And that's on the fly-by-wire 320, the INI 320, and obviously the INI 321 Neo. So they're all Leaps. So we'll be getting our first Gear Turbofans, which will be great, because you'll finally get to see the dual cool function of the Gear Turbofans. Absolutely amazing. Makes engine starts go a lot quicker. They'll both be represented in an external engine model. And finally, we're putting all of this in one package. This is a standalone product. No prior ownership necessary, but CEO owners. Read on CEO owners. All right, let's see. The CEO customers may not notice a difference, but I guarantee you some real-world pilots will probably notice a difference between the two. Let's see, for customers that do not opt in, this is just talking about like the difference between buying the products, the Neo versus the CEO. Auto brake off enthusiast. There we go. There we go. So the Neo will be running the latest version of eCam displays, what have you, on your CO for all you auto brake off enthusiasts. So there we go. They are making a. So you know how a lot of times, a lot of people. That's not the right button. So there's a mod out there, right, for the EIS-1. Right, and so you know that's supposed to be like the very first generation of Airbuses, what have you, and I think the version that Fenix modeled is like the earlier generation LCD display type of aircraft, which is perfectly fine, but as like I said, Airbus has pushed update after update, and so you have a lot newer software out there, and yes, in the newest versions of the CEOs and all of the Neos, you have this auto brake off call out, which is, if you're not ready for it and you don't remember that your airplane has it, yeah, it'll take you by surprise. It did take me by surprise the first time I flew one of our newer airplanes. So there you go. You have that coming. That's going to be awesome. This is a small thank you to those who continue to support the work we do. They go on to talk about more differences there between the CEO and Neo. Upcoming big Fenix update. What is going to be included in this update? Now let's look a little closer. In the next couple of weeks, we will finally push a BFU. Not every update is a BFU, but this one certainly is. In this update, we bring you the promised child, Baby Shark. We're getting an A319 with sharklets. Wow. Not just a flight model, but of course we've had a bit of fun with this one, and equipped the CFM variants as American Airlines have equipped theirs with the bespoke CFM 56 B7 motors. bringing you big power. Yes, the B7. So the B7 obviously being a slightly up-thrusted engine versus the B5s. So that is going to be a literal rocket ship in the air. Just flying that is going to be so amazing. Taking off at a short runways and then still being able to climb all the way up to 39,000 feet. Absolutely amazing. Of course, the IEs are present too, configured as a 2524, which is normal. This bring, well, 2524? Is that normal? 25, oh, 2525. 2525 is the 20, right? No, it should be 2525. Why are they 2524? Because 2525 is the 19, 2527 is a 20, and 2533 is a 21. I'm pretty sure. This brings us to a total of 7 bespoke external engine models across the entire 320 CEO family range. So a lot of back end work done on the Fenix side of things there. Next, we did the thing we didn't want to do. We spent months rebuilding portions of our display infrastructure, again to support weather radar. This was painful but necessary. We don't see much movement on the horizon, and we'd like you all to have the best experience possible, even if that means a bit of compromise on our side. Weather radar will roll out with the next update. Okay, I'm not. We'll see, because you know, the thing that holds back the weather radar is Asobo just simply will not allow third-party developers the access they need to whatever it is, the back-end system to figure out how to simulate weather correctly. So I don't know how they're going to be simulating this, if they're going to be if they're pinging real radar data and trying to interpolate that and put it on the radar display for you, or if it actually is doing this in sim. I have no clue what magic they're doing, but good for you, Fenix, for trying to do that. I usually it won't matter too much. I like, you know, X-Plane had the weather radars, and it really wasn't that useful. They just put blotches all over the place. So as far as I'm concerned, no simulator has really done a weather radar correctly. We'll see how Fenix does it, but it's really a simulator limitation and not a Fenix limitation. So we'll see. I'm actually looking forward to playing around with a weather radar. And then we have the flare and ground effect. We decided to pursue another principle on building this out, as it is evident the current experience leaves something to be desired. We've opted to rebuild the entire landing profile data around data, but it's hard to quantify such things in theory, hence why it was not built this way in the first place. Fortunately, with a bit of time and effort, we were able to analyze a few 100,000 real A320 flights from the DFDRs, digital flight data recorders, their outputs, and observe the aggregate side stick deflection profile, and charted against radio altimeter to build a generalized look at what it truly means to land an A320 from your touch point, the side stick. Then they repeated it for the A319 and then again for the 321. So after nearly 2 months of tuning both stick response and ground effect, we're able to say we have achieved a result we're happy to charting out for you. Okay, so the chart doesn't really mean anything. I'd much rather take a look at this YouTube video, which really is kind of hard to tell what the side stick is doing. If they had over here like the movement of the side stick for the flare, that would be better. I mean, that was a good landing. But in my opinion, and I've always said this, like, I've always said it feels like I'm yanking on a side stick to try to get it to flare, which just isn't a thing, right? So I'm glad they went back and they've looked at the flare and touchdown logic and have fine-tuned it a bit. So I'm excited to see how that change will affect people landing. So you see that chart above, the upper and lower boundaries of the stick input from the aggregate data set of normal landings. You can also observe as a solid line my stick inputs for the flare maneuver in the video. Ground effect should now no longer bounce you back into space should a flare be attempted. In short, we then validated with the internal team of pilots who gave us a few nips and tucks, and hey presto, it's a completely new set of landing dynamics. I would say please take a moment and do a couple of circuits. Hey, I don't even feel like I need to do any circuits. I feel like these should be, you know, it should feel natural. Like I said, right now there's an unnatural tendency for me to want to have to pull very hard on the side stick just to get that flare going. And right now, as I'm seeing it, you know, I kind of just fly the Fenix slightly differently in the landing. I just kind of wait for the retard now and then bring the power out, and I don't even try to pitch up. I just bring the power out and just let her float until it lands, because it's just too much force to try to bring that nose back up again. In line with the above, we also observed, with similar data, some ways to improve the fly-by-wire tuning. Response curves and dampening have all been adjusted, not dampening, damping, have all been adjusted, and in a departure from the norm, we will, with BFU, recommend a completely linear sensitivity on both pitch and roll, as is on the real aircraft. If your stick is lighter and or you prefer the feel of more weight in a certain axis, feel free to go from there and tweak the setting. The fly-by-wire will handle it, but please give our recommendation a go as a starting point. Once you are all tuned up, do take a moment and let the fly-by-wire really work for you by hand flying the airplane up to cruise. I mean, it is really a joy to hand fly. That is very much true. So I already have my sight stick in linear, and I absolutely love the way it I absolutely love the way it flies right now. I also have the SBS on as well, or SDS, side stick damping, whatever it is, system. So I also have that on, and it's pretty natural. So I'm excited to see how this will feel once that update rolls out. And for all of you who don't have Navigraph, LIDO charts. You're gonna get LIDO charts. But so everyone will have some form of. Wait, do you need to have is it 2024 V-speed computation? So that's good. They reread the V-speed computations. So you'll be able to see the stop margins. Okay, so yeah, you'll have the LIDO charts supported natively in the Fenix. So no longer do you need to have a Navigraph subscription if you don't want to pay for a Navigraph subscription. And in 2024, this is absolutely crazy. This is their first 2024 compatibility patch. We've rebuilt the project for 2024, harnessing the new modular sim object system and converting our library of over 700 liveries to. Further, we've included full walk-around mode support, including new external panels you'll want to see and play with, all fully functional and hooked up to the system. If you like to swing the gear doors open, feel free to walk over, unlatch the panel, and yoink the lever. Or if you want to open the cargo doors, you can do that yourself in walk around mode. So there you go. In walk around mode, in 2024, you'll be able to go underneath the airplane and open this little door here and hit the switch. It'd be really funny if they simulated the airplane being electrically dead, and you have to go over to a different panel, get a pump handle, and pump the door open. That'd be too much work. Another cool thing here, you got the refueling panel. That's crazy. I wonder if they're going to include some of the faults with the refueling panel. Like, I've had it several times, more than once, where the refueling panel, the little sensor, I don't know where it is, it's not on here, but the little sensor doesn't sense the doors open, so the panel won't turn on. So you got to open and close and open and close and open and close and open and close and open and close the door over and over again until that sensor finally figures out that it needs to turn on the panel here so you can refuel. So that's a huge pain, because if not, there's no way for you to actually get gas. So that is actually really cool. there. Now, I'm not going to be sitting down there trying to refuel my own tank. I'm not a refueler, right? So, like, I'm not going to be figuring out how to balance my tanks, especially if, let's see, in this one, it looks like it must be a 321 because it has ACT 1 and 2. So, yeah, that's, you trying to figure out how to balance your wing tanks, center tanks, and ACTs. Yeah, good luck with that one. But that is about it there, along with a host of improvements, including an entirely new 3D avionics and ventilation soundscape, so the sounds on the flight deck will sound a little bit different. That's awesome. Completely rebuilt IAV 2500 sound set, which he thought at first didn't need new sounds, but when he heard the news, that quickly changed his mind. Yeah, I want to hear the IAEs. I feel like have a very specific roar to them. I don't know how to explain it. That I think the Fenix just barely misses the mark. Maybe a little bump up in sound, but I'm not too sure. There's also a new dynamic touchdown system, which individually accounts for each wheel's touchdown rate. Wow. And generates unique touchdown sounds accordingly. Wow, that's really, really awesome. I appreciate this information. This is a very informative, dense post. And he goes on to conclude it. So there we go. There is our 2025 roadmap from the Fenix team there. Absolutely amazing what they're doing with rebuilding the entire ECAM display all the way up to the new engines and a few new engines as well. So absolutely amazing. Looking forward to what Fenix is going to bring us here in 2025. Let's go ahead. I see we have 30 left starting to come into view there. We'll get the LSs on. Let's go ahead and review the arrival. We'll go to plan mode, bring it all the way down to 10 nautical miles, and let's go ahead and bring up our iPad, bring up the charts with the arrivals on there. Well, first let me do this. Let me go and get the approach chart for 30 left. There we go. And you can hide that. No, I was already there. So we have Swan. We'll go from Swan to Eric's, and that's going to be at above flight level 240 and 280 knots. That looks good. Here it says Alto Radar aircraft descend via Mach number until intercepting 280 knots. So when I get to the perf page, I'll put 280 in there. And then we're gonna go to Torgy. It's gonna be at above 13,280 knots. Then Ofsen at above 11,000. Then Hamburg. Hamburg. That looks right there. Then Konya. Then Jaden. They're above 10,250 knots. And Haiti. They're above 9,000. Then we'll kick it out tomorrow at 8,210 knots. Then Jenny. And that's going to be heading there. How? I put in Hampton. I thought Hampton was the initial for the straight in. No, Hasty. Wow. Wow. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Perch Fias Hasty. Well, alrighty, there we go. Sweet. Alrighty. So let's go. Airport. ABEZ at above 4,000. Narco is at above 3,000. And then from Narco to the runway is 7 miles, 3-degree glide slope. It adds up to about 7 miles and a 3-degree glide slope. That looks good. Missed approach will be a climb to 1,300 and a climb to 3,000 on a 301 heading. Outbound on a 298 to Waxab, and we will hold. So that looks good. That's in the box there. Red nav. I got IMSP 110.3, I 110.3 IMSP. That looks good. We go KMSP 30L. There we go. So we have that set. We'll go over to performance. Descent page 280 instead of 290. Excellent. And then lastly, we want the approach page here. Weather. Real world ATIS 30 left right. Looks good. 34 minutes old. 340 at 7. Excellent. Temperature is 2 degrees. Nice and warm up there. Minus 14 is the dew point. 3016 is the altimeter. So I'll set that in here. Then we shall set our altimeters once, twice, and thrice. There you go. Sweet hell. Alright. Lastly, let's go ahead and put our minimums 1023. Even though it'll be a visual backed up with ILS, it is what it is. Let's see. I have low auto brakes in there right now. How long is the runway there? I feel like it's a fairly long runway. 10,000 feet. Yeah, that'll be that. With auto brakes alone, full flaps, we'll probably end up turning off somewhere on, what's this, Mike or Whiskey 8? One of those, that's what I'm thinking we'll turn off on. So yeah, with all of that, let's go ahead and go back to plan mode, shall we? Have not approached the top of descent yet, that's good. It's right just before Eric's, so that's also good. We'll go ahead and ask our Ghost FO if he has any threats. What are your threats? Well, no major threats here. It should be a straightforward arrival. Oh, there's not really a lot of threats going in here. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, same. With that said, we won't get complacent, and we'll be vigilant for anything that might pop up and try to trap any errors that may come our way. Excellent. We'll come in on the Torgy 3 arrival. Our first restriction is going to be Eric's at above flight level 240 and 280 knots. The bottom side is going to be Mauer at 8,210 knots. We'll plan a visual, back it up with the ILS to runway 30 left. Charlie 11-6, data 30 December 16. We'll use full flaps, low auto brakes. In the event of a misapproach, plan on doing a soft go around. And we'll proceed out on the published miss, which has been verified and in the box, unless we get alternate misapproach instructions with the tower. Otherwise, when we do land, plan on a left-hand turnoff on Mike or Whiskey 8, one of the two. And you'll just see with how long this airplane is, how much runway this thing takes up. That is absolutely insane. From there, what I'll probably do is I'll take Mike and Tango or Charlie 2 into the ramp, and we will park. We'll park it at Hotel 11. Is there a... No. I thought that was a radar return right there. Let's see. Yep, Hotel 11. So you can come in on whatever this is. It's really between the two, so it really doesn't matter. Charlie. Mike 2 to Charlie 2 is what we'll do. Excellent. 8,000. Gotta put that in there. Go, 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 go. 8,000. Set. Managed. Sweet. Kind of hit that one too late. And lastly, we will ask, you got any questions? No questions. All sounds like a plan. Excellent. What a beautiful day to fly out here. Not a... We haven't seen a singular cloud in the sky. Do I have live... I should have live weather on. No, I don't have live weather on. What on earth? I can't believe it. That makes no sense. Alright. That's cool. You don't see that in 2020, where you have the cirrus clouds. You definitely don't see that in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. What on earth? I thought it was too good to be true. A day with absolutely no clouds. I swear, I do not remember turning live weather off at all. I never turn live weather off, so why was it off? I have absolutely no clue. Beats me. Still a beautiful day. Fairly cloudless day, if you will. Back on profile, we can go ahead and stow them spree brakes. Go, absolutely beautiful. Still no ATC online, which is perfectly fine. Probably here in about 80 miles, I'll switch over to the Unicom frequency. Max Racing says, go pick up some Minneapolis donuts. Are they known for their donuts there at Max Racing? I have no clue. Don't forget the donut holes. Are they really known for donuts there in Minneapolis? That would be interesting. I know Wisconsin's known for like their cheese, right? Now I'm gonna have to research that. Is Minneapolis known for their donuts? Alright, so this is according to, see if I can break this out. Sweet. This is according to AI, obviously AI says, yes, Minneapolis, especially the Twin Cities area, is known for its fantastic donut scene, with many shops offering both classic and innovative creations. Let's see what we got here. The diverse donut scene. Okay, and then it just goes on lists a few shops. Okay. So, yeah, apparently I did not know that Minneapolis was known for being awesome, having awesome donuts. You have to bid Minneapolis next month and go get some. Maybe I have to. Maybe I need to go up to Minneapolis and like try out some donuts, you know, hit the hotel jumps like super hard. Gotta earn each and every one of those donuts for sure. All right, this is hopefully Fenix fixes this with the VNAV path. So you see how the Fenix loves to hang out at the bottom? That wouldn't happen, even though like we're not in idle. it would still hang out closer to that triangle than all the way at the bottom. So that's not a thing that would actually happen. So you wouldn't be in the triangle, but you'd be within 5 to 10 knots of that triangle. I don't know why it's hanging out 20 knots below its target speed. That just won't happen. Also, Phoenix, I would really hope, because I think they took the time to do a lot of things right. Stat MD. You know, I hope that 800 number is a number to a Phoenix developer, and this 412 number is a number to another Phoenix developer, because, you know, that seems like it would be highly irresponsible to put the actual Stat MD number on, and Stat MD gets flooded with a bunch of simmers calling them, "Are you a real number? What do you guys do?" Like, no, do not call Stat MD. They get paid by the minute, and it is not cheap. I'm fairly certain, or I don't even know if they get paid by the minute, but I'm fairly certain it's not cheap to use them. So don't go running up some bills on who is this, Frontier here, and whoever else uses them. You said that's a real number, you believe? No, there's no way that can be a real number. And no, I'm not calling it. So, I'm not doing that. You've reverse searched it? Yeah, it seemed like it'd be highly reckless for them to put a real number on there, but who knows if people are actually calling it. If people aren't calling it, good on them. We simmers have a lot more restraint than I thought we would have, because I know there's some kid somewhere that's just like, oh, let me call this number. You know, oh, we have a fake medical emergency on board. Let me call Stat MD. So it's yeah, I would hope that it leads to like a fake Stat MD line or something like that. Who knows? I wouldn't want it to be a real line. But yeah, that's a real thing. You can call that number, and you know, we have our own way of doing things. That's on. I never turned the seatbelt sign off. I thought that turned that off through 18,000 feet. Sorry guys, you had to sit there and not use the bathroom the entire flight, but who cares? I had to sit here and not use the bathroom the entire flight either, so there we go. Alrighty, we have that. Let's go setting our altimeters once, twice, and thrice. There we go. And let's go ahead and recall our status. That looks normal. We're on our perf approach page here. We can go ahead and do a descent checklist. Altimeters, we have 3016. Auto brake is low. Perf approach page is set. Our arrival briefing is reviewed. The Torgy 3 arrival, a visual approach backed up with the ILS to runway 30 left. Our status is checked. The descent checklist is complete. I wonder, we should have had a slight tailwind the whole way. I wonder if this flight actually took longer because I didn't have live weather. That would be... And I didn't mark what, we'll have to see what our UI times are. And see what we were originally blocked. I think we were originally blocked for 1 hour and 34 minutes of flying. Yeah, 134. So we'll see. I'll check it. We'll check the UI times when we get there. It will have UI, right? I don't know. Let's see. Menu. Atsu. AOC. Light on it? Nope. AOC menu. So there's no UI times here. At least not that I can find. No EDC required. Yeah. So I don't know what time we actually the wheels left the ground. DC requests. I don't have that. Arrival message. Oh. No need for that. Oh, I could do that. Arrival message. That's not going to do anything. Don't need anything. Oh, no, never mind. That's kind of a pointless page. That would really be like the in-range report. And that really is how you get your gate information, because it could change literally a million times during the flight. Diversion free text out. Okay, whatever. I can't find the UI. That's alright. Put the performance page up on that side. So we have Heidi at above 9,000. We got Minneapolis slowly coming into sight there. That's crazy that you could reverse search the number and pull it up. I'm surprised they don't have it hidden or blocked. Also, like, where is Fenix getting their information from? They like sending rogue agents onto flight decks all around the world, taking pictures to see what stickers they got on the flight deck. Because that's like super detailed, right? Like this sticker, which is like the word. No one's looking at the sticker, bro. No one's looking at the sticker, but it's there. It's more important to have it in the cargo bin, cargo hold. And I guarantee the reason that is there is because I just have the button pre-programmed. They don't have cargo heat, their airplane, which is why that's there. So you got to have that there in order for you to actually be able to carry live animals. So some planes have them, some planes don't. That is what it is. Or they just don't want the liability that comes with carrying an animal. That could be another reason as well. Because people have put animals in the wrong bin and gotten a frozen animal on the other side. As you can imagine, that's no fun. Alrighty. Flight attendants, prepare for landing. We'll go ahead and switch over to the Unicom, or the CTAF frequency here. There's the airport right there. We can go ahead and get rid of our in-flight entertainment. Thank you very much for all of the music you done did. Appreciate it. There we go. Pretty quiet out here this evening. That's quite all right. And let me go ahead and get flight replay going. There we go. Start a recording. Excellent. There we go. Recording is recording is on. See if we can see the wrong side. Airport. There's downtown Mini right there. There's St. Paul. I don't know which one's which. It's one of the two. Sweet. Let's just go ahead and we'll go all the way down to, let's call it 4,000 feet. Engines pretty much stayed at idle. What we'll do is we've crossed Big D there. So their approach phase is now active. We'll go ahead and we will select the next speed. Let's just go ahead and call it 200 knots, shall we? Sweet. We're in that area where it's just hard. It's always a 321. It's just hard to go down and slow down. Now, what we can do is shallow out the descent. There we go. Wait till we get to that green dot speed. Call for flaps 1. Speed is verified. So that's the biggest struggle in a 321 is that specific speed right there. or trying to get the slats out. Once you get the slats out, you're pretty much good to go. Ready, we're passing through S-speed. Let's go ahead, or VFE next, minus 10, flaps 2, speed verified. And now we have a lot more wiggle room. Here we go. That's definitely a flaps 2 descent right there. Alrighty, I'll go ahead and store the speed brakes now. Since we got flaps 2, that's all the drag we really need. I'll go ahead and arm them at this time. We're 5 for 4. And what I'll probably do is we'll go direct to Narco at this time. That's going to give us a really sweet intercept there. Direct to Narco looks good. Go ahead and get that turn going. And I'll slow it up to like 190 knots. That should be good. We'll arm the approach and we'll turn on autopilot number 2. We got Cat 3 dual. So that looks good. I love that wing flex. Look at that wing flex. Oh, and you can tell that's like crazy building going on out here in Minneapolis. Like, look at the neighborhoods being like, the trees being cleared. This kind of looks like it could be a school. Another neighborhood going in right here.
Traffic Delta 9965 pushing Gill 14 Mini.
Minneapolis traffic. Frontier flight 3318 is on a left base for runway 30 left. Minneapolis traffic. Let's go ahead and go down to 3,000 feet, shall we? Nope. 3,000. Man, this aircraft is a rocking and a rolling. Minneapolis traffic, Frontier Flight 3318 is over Narco, inbound on ILS runway 30 left, Minneapolis traffic. We got the dual capture, we can set the missed approach altitude. That's going to be 3,000. And that is set. Let's go ahead and manage up our speed and drop the gear. Flaps 3, speed verified. Flaps full, speed verified. Before landing checklist, alright, before landing checklist, the altimeters 3016 and 2800. Engine mode, norm. Landing gear is down and 3 green. ECAM memo, landing no blue before landing checklist is complete. So a lot of times I like to wait until that self-check is done so that we make sure those go back down into the green. So there we go. Excellent. Replay is on. I'll bring up the sounds. Seems like the winds are not really mostly down the runway, but that is okay. We'll take what we got.
1000.
Stable. You clearly got the fastest autopilots off. Stable target, sync 8, clear to land.
Above. Minimum. 100. 50. 40. 30.
Where'd all my runway textures go?
20. Retard. 10. 5.
Deployed. $80. My aircraft. 60. Yeah, I need to adjust the tension on this. Alright, manual braking. The auto brake is off. Yeah, it's like it's got the touchdown markings, but then that's it. There's no other the aiming points there. Alright. Sweet. Minneapolis traffic, Frontier Flight 3318 is clear of runway 30 left. We'll be taxiing to the ramp via Mike Charlie 2. Mike 2. We'll cross runway 22, Charlie 2 to the ramp for Minneapolis traffic. Alrighty, that was a mouthful. Alrighty, so there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. Let's go ahead and go flaps up. So, as you can see, let me finish my flow here. So, you can see here, I'll go ahead and clear that master caution. We have EIS DMC2 fault. This literally happened to me like 500 feet off the ground. And fortunately, this particular aircraft we're flying in right now, the simulator, isn't an EIS 1, so we were flying in EIS 1, and we got this at about 500 feet or so, and it wasn't like anything sudden. So we knew something was weird when we saw the first officer's screen kept flashing. We were like flashing on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. And eventually they just quit. And then we got the message EIS DMC2 fault. So it kind of took both of us by surprise. Minneapolis traffic, Frontier Flight 3318 will be crossing runway 22 at Mike 2, taxiing Charlie 2 to the ramp. Minneapolis traffic, last call. Did I get my lights? Oh well, I didn't. I'll be getting them now. Yeah, I did get the lights. All right. So we're clear to cross. Crossing runway 22. Let's go get ahead and get GSX going. It's at Hotel 1111. Oop. Oop. Gap. There you go. Sweet. So we will taxi right onto the ramp. I see our ground equipment sitting right there for us. It was super hard to tell where you're at in the flare with literally just touchdown zone markings. I don't know. Maybe I'll actually have to get a Minneapolis scenery now. I thought the scenery is okay if you're departing, but not as much if you're arriving. It is what it is. There's Hotel 11. Should really turn that thing off above his head. That's super hard to see. They do it like that. Who is marshalling like that? What I want to know. No one is marshalling like that. Absolutely no one.
Minneapolis traffic Delta 9965 at a 4,300 beginning to turn southeastbound. Final call for Minnie.
Whoa, that was sudden. Okay, grief. Alright, brakes are set. There we go, we'll go to the overhead. And not the fast seatbelt sign. Engine 2 can come off, engine 1 can come off. Back up to the overhead. All the fuel pumps can come off. And the beacon can come off. There we go. Anything? Deboarding is requested there. Oh, little bow. Thank you. Expect that was a very sudden stop there, but thank you. So yeah, let's go ahead and check our fluid levels again. So we'll check engine. That all looks good. Hydraulics again. Like how back up the top of the fuel range, which is fine. It can be at the top of the fuel range. And then our status, we have DMC2, which is this. So that's the first officer's displays. DMC1 is captain's displays. DMC3 is in standby. So that's why you see EIS DMC2 alt. So all we got to do is switch DMC to FO3. So he's going to be on computer number 3 now. So he gets his displays back. So there you go. Super easy, super simple ECAM. But when you're on short final and you don't want to, okay, I don't know what's going on. When you're on short final and you don't want to mess with taking someone out of the loop to run an ECAM or go around just so you can run a simple ECAM, like you just land, then you take a second, you breathe, you look at it, because obviously we saw that his displays were going. So you land, you take a look at it, and then you just kind of do it, you know. And what we actually did is once we were shut down, got to the gate, the first thing I did was, well, is there a computer reset for it? And there was no computer reset for it. So what I did was I actually called the company. What is she doing? I'm very interested. Is she like out there like doing some sort of yoga? Okay. Just going through all the motions, I guess. Alrighty. Well, let's do a shutdown checklist real quick. Yeah, before I forget about it. Our brake is on and checked. Engine masters are off. Engine mode norm. Speed brake is, oops, disarm. I forgot to do that in my flow, so you'll see the speed brakes out. So what we got to do is That's not the one I want. We gotta go way up to the back here. We want to make sure everything's clear. We'll just say it is. So we'll turn that on. You see, there goes that. Some of them went down. Ugh. So then we'll turn that off, and then we can get the rest by turning this on. So watch this. We turn the electric pump on. There they go. Sweet. I keep hitting the wrong one. I'm trying to get back to the overhead. Oop. There we go. Where was I? Speed brake, disarm, radar is off, wind shear is off. The fuel pumps are off. Our slides are disarmed. APU is on. Or sorry, our slides or disarmed. APU is on. Shutdown checklist is complete. All right, let's go ahead and stop our replay here, so we're not recording every last second of everything. There we go. There we go. Replay is stopped. We'll go ahead and thank VATSIM for its service and log offline. Really do appreciate that. A little bit of live ATC tonight. But yeah, so what I did, and let's see, let's go outside. Oh wow, this is them deplaning. Where are they going? They're like walking up the jet bridge and then back. Okay, I don't know. I don't know where they think this thing is. We won't show that though. We'll show this. There we go. That's more like it. So what I ended up doing, really? Why is there invisible? So suddenly, and that's probably why I have to update GSX, is suddenly now we have invisible things. I thought I had it set so that this parking spot would only be the belt loader. Only belt loaders. Why is it always... Oh, the ULD loader. I have no clue. Not too enthused with GSX right now, but it is what it is. Because I have like an invisible ULD loader. Just you got a floating ULD, whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, so what I did was called the company, and they had me pull a series of circuit breakers, and that didn't work. So then they had me pull a series of more circuit breakers, and that didn't work. So they had to throw the DMC on MEO, and that was that. You know, that's we had to have someone come out and verify the AC Essential bus would transfer. But that was it. That was it. Everything else worked. You know, it was a pretty easy MEL. But yeah, something like that happening on short final will definitely grab your attention. So there we go. So just waiting to finish the deplaning process. Once we're all deplaning, now that invisible ULD is gone, thank you. Once the deplaning is all wrapped up, which could take some time, it is a 321. We will go ahead and begin the replay. While we're waiting to deplane, I'll go ahead and throw the tunes back on for you here. Excellent. There we go. They're all done with their stuff. Is he going to put it right back in the start position? Oh, nice. Alright, let's go back inside. Say goodbye to all the passengers, shall we? Oh, look, they even have the little mountain lion right when you walk in. That's so cool. Cali the mountain lion. And I do have to say, flying in Europe And I mean, it's not like all the airlines do it, but some of the European airlines do have their stewards and stewardesses, or stewardesses, I should say, wear the cap, you know. And I think it was like only on the ground, but you know, just that extra little touch of class, you know. Couldn't imagine the people who actually have the passengers, like they're seated and like they stay seated, they stay visible in the cabin the entire time. Like, I don't know, I couldn't justify using my frames that way. Like, this is cool watching the passengers come on and off. Like, you know, GSX has come a long way from when I used to have it in the FSX days. Like, now you don't even have to have profiles installed, or you don't have to have your pushback set up. It just automatically senses where your taxi line is, and it says, do you want to go left, right, or straight? And then it goes. You don't have to think about it. So forget how much people we had on here. 230, I think. Like, that's the thing about the A321. Like, it's pretty much reaching 757 status now. The thing they need to do, like the thing that made the 757 very unique and in a world on its own, is it could carry 230 people, but it also had, unlike, you know, the 321, which has a thrust rating of 33,000 pounds on each engine, right? The 757 had 44,000 pounds of thrust. I mean, that's the reason why it could get up and go anywhere, and then climb all the way up to 40,000 feet with a full plane, full load of passengers and bags, you know? Really can't wait for the Bluebird 757 to come out, because I have so many memories of flying 757s all over the US. So, and I'm glad to see at least 2 US airlines, Delta and United, hanging on to their 757s, because that is just a beautiful airplane. So, Bluebird, need you to go faster though, because I cannot wait. A lot of people like to refer to the 321 as the clown car of the fleet because it's just a plane where people just keep coming and coming and coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. Yeah, they just don't stop. But it is a workhorse. So I can completely understand, like with the varying configurations, where you can have the option of the ACTs to carry more fuel to go cross country or take them out, and that's, you know, unnecessary weight you don't need, so you can carry more people and more bags, you know. And then you got the Neo that can literally just do it all. So the Neo is definitely a great airplane to fly around. I can't wait till we get the gear turbofans. I can't even wait till we get a proper Neo. I mean, are we gonna be once Fenix comes out with a Neo? I mean, it'll be great because the flight sim community will have free options as well as paid options, right? So obviously, if you want the free option, you have the 320 and 321 Neo and Flight Simulator 2024 that come with the product. I did a good job there. Also, the fly-by-wire 320. That team is doing great work over there as well. But if you want a far superior, more detailed simulation, then you're gonna want the Fenix 320 Neo and 321 Neo. Like there's just no comparison. I is good for what they did. And this is just my opinion. Their free stuff not as good as their payware stuff. So whenever Zobo has them do something in the simulator for free as like a courtesy to the community, it's great and it's good and it's better than we would get if Zobo alone was doing it, but it's not like the quality of the A350. Like I took their time with the A350 and they made sure the airplane looked good, it performs well on your computer, it flies well, it has the depth of systems most sim enthusiasts are going to want. And if you don't need that, hey, in the end, it's an Airbus. You can still just turn it on, crank the engines, and go flying. So, Bills did a really good job with the A350. But, you know, on the other side of that is the INI 321. It's pretty much a stretched 320 Neo. It feels like they kind of use the same assets from the Asobo 320. It doesn't feel nearly as bespoke as a ground up rework. So some things just aren't up to par to the payware level that they are known for, but hey, it's free. So, you know, you can't complain. It's free and it works fairly well. I think I took the 321 Neo out one day, just a test flight and see how it worked, because I think I was going to do a Frontier Ops 321 stream in the INI Builds A321, and it just, there was something about it that was off. It like VNAV was like grossly off or something weird like that. It was like not even worth. I was like, okay, well, we'll put this in the back pocket. So I think in terms of 321 Neos and 320 Neos, I'll just wait for Fenix to come out. Plus, Fenix has the Thales MCDUs, which I'm used to. I've flown the Honeywell MCDU. It's a little bit different. I might make like a quick little 5-minute video on like the difference between, you know, Thales and Honeywell. Just because I have seen both sides of that. And it's really minute, but they do operate slightly differently, which is why when I do fly the INI Airbuses and Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Some of the things in the McDo just throw me off trying to figure out what to do, but it is what it is. It is an Airbus after all, so eventually you figure out how to get it to do the exact same thing you want it to do. Are we done? I think we're done. Sweet. So they continue walking down and out. Commence deboarding. Yeah, deboarding is done. Oh, we still have 13 people? How do we have 13 people? Spread all over the cabin. Okay, we have 13 invisible people trying to get off the airplane. That's what's happening right now. Alright, so in that case, we'll wait and finish up for those 13 people to get off, and then we'll go into our replay mode. 7 people. So I'll clear the DMC fault. You know what? Let's leave the DMC fault. We'll clear that. Obviously, we have DMC 2. We'll clear that. Excellent. Company message. Oh yeah, let's see what the, did they give us our UI times? No. DLC menu. Received messages. Arrival message. It just tells us what our arrival time is. Disappointing. Alright. Let's go ahead. Everyone is off. Let's go ahead and get the door closed. Panel states ready. Activate. We'll wait for the gray to go away. Put you back over. There we go. Because we still have the... I'm surprised it actually still kept the fault. Nice. Waiting on the gray to go away. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and we can get that to go ahead and stop. And let's go ahead and bring up our replay tool and let's load it in. There we go. And we'll hit the start button. Yeah. Brakes are off. We begin. Alrighty. Let's go outside. Fast forward. All right. Let's see. Yeah, let's start the replay from here. Should be perfectly fine. That's interesting as the seasons are starting to change over. You got a little bit of brown, you got a little bit of green going on. The grass is slowly starting to come back to life. Trees are slowly starting to come back to life. Very nice, the little touch in Flight Simulator 2024 with the power lines. And look at this. Lake. Land of, isn't it 10,000 lakes or something like that up here? Where's that? Michigan, the land of 10,000 lakes. I'm pretty sure it's Minneapolis or Minnesota. Yeah, without any of the stripes to tell how high you are. Not bad. Not bad. Could be better, but I'm not mad about it. Let's roll that back from about right here. And Nah, I wanted this view. Or maybe this view. I want to see if we can see downtown Minneapolis. Nah, we're not going to be able to see downtown Minneapolis. I think I brought the engine power out. I mean, it wasn't bad. I think I brought the engines to idle a little too soon. Which is, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to be mad about it. Could I do better? Yeah. But, there we go. Got Minneapolis kind of in the background there. But you see how there's just like no more stripes once you get past those? Oh yeah, I definitely brought the power out way too high. Oh, but made it in the touchdown. Floated it out, maybe a little bit too much, right? But made it in the touchdown zone within a few hundred feet. The end of the touchdown zone there. I'm not going to be mad about that. Yeah, let's do this. All right. All right. Still trying to master this cam angle. So you see where the touchdown, the aim points are right here. So definitely landed long, which is expected, especially in a 321, but I definitely also brought the power out much later than I wanted to. Very nice. Even though it was a long landing, it still turned out to actually be an okay landing. I'm not going to complain about that. There we go. We'll link those back up, head back inside. Nope, inside would be the operative word there. And we'll get one final replay going, shall we? I actually have to bring the replay tool backwards. That generally helps. There we go. Yeah, we'll start it from right there. There we go. Sweet deal. I'd like to take the opportunity at this time to thank Dummy Thick, Lang, Max Racing, Draco, Godfather. Am I missing anyone there? No, I think I did get everyone. Thank you all for coming out to, and Squiddy. How could I forget Squiddy? Thank you very much for coming out to another live stream. Hopefully you learned one or two things along the way. Tomorrow will be Turn and Burn Tuesday. Have not figured out what route I want to do yet, but once I do figure that one out, I will definitely let you all know. Or I'll definitely make the post and put it online. So look for a post for Turn and Burn Tuesday. Look forward to seeing you all there. But until I see you at the next time, remember to take care of yourselves and each other. Until then, I'm Great Eagle. Peace.